Hello everybody. I forget how echoey it is in here, but I'm doing today, even though it's like a day before I leave, I'm doing my flat tour. Yay! Okay, so I've been asked to do this a lot, and I was like, it will probably be very beneficial for people who want to see what the accommodation's like. Well, let me go give you some background of where I am before I start. So, where I am, what accommodation I'm in. You're probably watching this if you are planning on going to ISJ this year, if you've accepted a place and are looking for what accommodation to apply to. Well, I'm a girl. I'm about to tell you all about it from a student perspective and like not a uni perspective. I live in St. Mary's house, and that's like, it's like the prison building level one. You'll know what I mean if you go to the website. Yeah, I live in that one. I'm in a flat of 5. All the flats are 5 bedrooms, except for a couple on the top floor, which are 3, and those are for usually like mature students that want to live in accommodation. My flat is one of the ones where it's all large bedrooms, but we have single beds. So large rooms, single beds. There are other flats who have large rooms and double beds. There are also other flats with small rooms and single beds. A whole load of it. Yeah, so we have 5 rooms. They're all various shapes and sizes. Obviously I can only show you mine because I don't want to sort of invade the privacy of my other flatmates' rooms, but they're all pretty much the same, just the layout is a bit different and the room shape's different. Mine's definitely the most unique. My room's actually probably the most unique in the building, like, and I'll show you why when we go around. I did actually do a bedroom tour when I came to uni, but obviously I've moved a couple of things around and things have changed a bit, so I just wanted to give you guys an updated version and also show you guys the rest of my flat, like the toilet, kitchen, etc. So yeah, let's get right to it. So first up we have the door. Obviously I'm not going to show you what's outside the door because I don't want anybody breaking into my house, but yeah, this is my door. Then we have Jess's room. We will have our cute little names on here, and then my room is down there. Then, this is my favourite part of the whole flat actually. I've got like this big archway, which is like, oh, it's so lovely. Let me go through here. This is the communal air mattress that we use for people sleeping over, which is quite a lot. In that cupboard down there, we have like the Hoover, mop, stuff like that. Then we go this way, we have a door that leads to we don't know where. And then here's my kitchen with a lovely yellow wall that I don't know why it's there. But we have a food waste bin, normal bin, and then like a bin for recycling that we use. We had to buy our own draining board, but it's all good. And then down here, we have like pots and pans in there. Like, I'm not going to show you every single cupboard, but I'm just going to give you guys like a general overview of what the drawers and stuff are like. Then like more pots and pans in there. This side, so the majority of the stuff is, this is our fridge. I doubt there's much in there. Yeah, like hardly anything in there, but this is what the fridge looks like, pretty self-explanatory. And then this one, the one issue with the freezer is there's only 4 drawers, so we kind of have to like share, because there's 5 flatmates, 4 drawers, it's just a bit annoying. Then we have more cupboards that we need, but most people use 2. I use 1. Actually, I use 2, but like me and Mel share. Like this is my cupboard, like the top bit is mine and the bottom bit's Mel's. So yeah, and then I use up here for my, that's mine. And then that glass is mine, everything else isn't. So yeah, but with like the decent sized cupboards, like that's Jess's, and yeah, here's the oven. It's quite small, so because I've managed somehow to do a lot of roast dinners in here. Yeah, we also have a grill, which is quite nice to use. And yeah, the flats don't actually come with a kettle and a toaster. None of them do. We had to buy them ourselves. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass, but now you guys know. It did come with a microwave, however. These are really easy to use, and yep, there's that. We have annoyingly, because a lot of other flats don't have this, we have individual chairs. Like a lot of flats have literal like sofas, but it's also very annoying because all of the chairs are different. We've got a box of games, mainly from me. I don't think there's much else to show you from here, but yeah, that's about it. Ooh. And we're quite lucky because we have a lot of counter space. But yeah. We also have to extract the fan, which is very helpful because the fire alarms in here are very temperamental. Right, so moving on, as we go out the kitchen, we go on the left. And here we have 2 doors. This is flat, this guy's room. But ignore that, I can't go in. So first up we have the shower. Oh, which is very crammed. Oh, so we have the shower in here. It's really easy to use. You just just turn that and it's easy peasy. Yeah, and like we've got mats and like stuff here, all the cleaning supplies, but yeah, it's quite a small room, but we make do. There isn't much shelf room in here. Like there's only 2 and like we don't use them because it's not really fair on everybody else. So we usually just bring our stuff in, which is why I would actually really recommend getting like a basket or something to bring in with you every single time you go to a shower, because I know that's what I do. I have like this wire basket thing that I take with me every single time I need a shower. Then moving on from the toilet to the bathroom, we have, oh god, this tiny room, which is even smaller than the toilet, even smaller than the shower, I mean. Yeah, but it's very simple. We have a sink, soap that I think I brought or something. We have a little bit of cleaning supplies there. I can't remember if that came with the flat or not. I think it did, but don't quote me on that. And we have just a shelf there, which literally in the first week, because we all brought a packet of toilet roll, we had like a row of toilet rolls on here, which is quite fun. But and we also have a fire alarm in the toilet, so if you're doing a poo, then you'll know when the fire alarm goes off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's like the main bulk of all the communal stuff. Now I will show you my room again, for everybody that didn't see the video before. So here we have the kitchen again. Here's again a door that we don't know where it goes to. We'll go around here and the front door. Here's another cupboard that we don't know where it goes to. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if these are like boilers at all. Because I know quite a lot of flats don't have them and some do, so there might be boilers for like obviously our flat, like the rest of the flats. But yeah, and our flat is just very like shaped very weirdly. I don't know if you noticed this before, because obviously we've got the main hallway here and this arch, and this is really high. But Jess's room actually, her room's really unique. Her ceiling goes all the way up to there, so it's got an extremely high ceiling and like an arched window. And it's quite like large, it goes back quite far, like it's the same length as the kitchen, and it goes from like here to about there, so it's quite a large room actually. She has a lot of dead space that she doesn't know what to do with, but we're going to talk about my room right now. So go in. I think my room's fine, it's probably not a mess. Yeah, we have my door sign like everybody else's. Oh, we go in. And here is my room. It's not that messy. Look at that. Right, so yes, this is mon chambre. So we have my front door. We have these weird things. These are on top of all the doors, but they black them out. The one annoying thing is though, there are like cracks in the corners, so you can see all the, if the hallway light's on, you can see the light coming through, which is a bit annoying, but you know, we deal. Yeah, and right, this is my kind of mud room. Is that, no, that's an American term, I don't know, like where you'd keep your coats and shoes. This is my section. So I've got 2 hangers that didn't actually come with the room. I had to get these myself, and they were like sticker ones that you can like pull off and it didn't like damage the wallpaper. So I've got them there, and then my shoe rack, which is fun. Then we've got the desk, of course, that came with the room. The chair also came with the room. So yep, that's fun, quite a lot of space. We've also got this mess. It's actually quite an organised mess, you know, like, there's my York Ghost just falling over. Yeah, it's quite an organised mess personally. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's again, another organised mess. Oh my god, I've been looking for that. Right, then we move on to this windowsill, again, another organised mess. Can we all just please give me a break? I'm going home tomorrow and I'm trying to organise stuff. So it's kind of nice when I come back, so I've sort of just thrown stuff everywhere of stuff I need. So give me the benefit of the doubt, please, like, genuinely. The good thing about this is all the windowsills in St. Mary's are very like thick windowsills, like that's the entire windowsill there. So I actually use it as bookcases because I own quite a lot of books. So I use that as a bookcase, and it's quite nice because it gives me quite a lot of privacy as well. Because if I want to have the blind open, because there's 2 sets of blinds, there's this one here which is kind of like, you can still see through it, but like not as well as you would this one, because there's one on the inside and one on the outside. Quite helpful actually. But yeah, that's that. And it's quite like, I'll show you the shape of my ceiling as well, because you've got this and it divides off here in this weird shape and it goes up. Like I'd be so curious to see what is like the room above. Like, is this a room and then there's like this is a windowsill? I don't get it. Yeah, here's another windowsill that I have not organised to the slightest, but you get the gist. Oh, here's the basket that I was talking about. This is the basket that I take into the shower with me. It's very, very handy. And I just put all of my toiletries in there. And then I have a bin that I brought myself. This bin was actually here when I came, so I didn't have to buy another one. I've got a trolley that I put my makeup on. Under the sink storage, which is really helpful. And then a sink and a mirror. This mirror actually turns on, so it's quite, oh gosh, it's quite easy to do makeup in. One up for the girls. And then you have, my room is a mess. I take it back, my room is a mess. Then we have this bit here, and then on bed, here's my suitcase that I'm currently packing and stuff on the bed that needs to go in my suitcase. Yep. And we have like under the bed drawers, and then here there's my snack thing, and then I've got all my coats here, because I did once upon a time have a railing here, but it actually broke because I got one of those cheap ones from Tesco. So I'm gonna have to grab one from IKEA at some point. I definitely would recommend getting a really good one, because otherwise you'll end up like me, clothes absolutely everywhere. And then you've got this teeny fucking wardrobe. This is the most annoying thing that I had when I came here. The wardrobe was tiny, and that's why I had to get a runner rail, and most people do have runner rails, because like that is a tiny wardrobe. Like, look how many hangers I have in there. Those are usually on my runner rail, and my jackets are in the wardrobe, but yeah. And these are my pants and socks drawers, and then I keep like spare like blankets and sheets up there, and there's my extra suitcase. But yours, here's the room, and I say it every single goddamn video that you see me in. The bogey wall, I cannot help it. I'll tell you about the bogey wall in a minute when I sit down and have a general conversation about accommodation with you lot. So, right, now you've seen my entire flat, you'll realise that it's actually okay. Like, it's actually alright, it's decent. And lovely white walls. That, it's actually a nice building. There are pros, there are definitely cons, but there are a lot more pros than cons about living in here. And I'm going to talk about the other accommodation that I've also been to and like give my review on it, just so it makes your guys' choice easier. But of course I don't know everything because I've only ever lived in this building. I've just heard things from other buildings, from people that I know live there. I've been to a couple other accommodations that I can tell you guys about, but after all, this is one student's opinion, so do not take my word as law. So I want to talk about St. Mary's first, obviously, because I live here. It's a massive fuck-off building. There's like 1, 2, 3. There's 5 entrances into the building, which is something you might not expect because most accommodations have like one main entrance, but St. Mary's is different because the whole building used to be a Victorian workhouse and they converted it into student like hospital, and then like this, I'm guessing, I don't know, there's probably a couple things in between because yeah, but there are 5 different entrances with like different number flats in them. So about like the kind of like design of it, the green wall, there's an accent wall in every single room except the hallways, and it's kind of like, it's like potluck what you get. Like, you can either get a really nice wall that's like a pale blue and it's lovely, like Mel does and Jess does, or you can get me, like my one, like really bogey green, and you can't really help it. You could put something to cover it up. I was going to do that, and then I decided I couldn't be asked, and now it's just, I think it's just a joke at this point, so I'm just going to leave it. There are, obviously you saw my kitchen has a bright yellow wall. Yeah, nothing to really say about that. Also, like, sometimes the tables can be different, sometimes the sofas can be different. It's really potluck what you get, honestly. Like I was saying before, some flats have double beds if they're a large room, some flats have single beds if they're a large room. You could very easily fit a double bed in here. It would be a bit of a cramp, like it would be a bit of a tight squeeze, but you could. I've actually got the smallest room in my flat. I think it's the joint between me and Sky actually, but I've definitely got one of the smallest. But the small rooms, like, they're even smaller, like, and I mean like a box small, like. So obviously here's my bed, and I'd say from maybe this piece of carpet here across, that would be how big the room would be, and that's it. And you'd have to like fit a sink in that and everything, so quite small. Adding on to what St Mary's is like, I think one of the main cons is how cold it gets. You'd think because it's like an old brick building with very thick walls, it would be very warm. However, they still have the old windows in here that they used to have probably about 75 years ago. They're quite old, and all of them have like a slight crack at the bottom that you try to shut it all the way, but you just can't. So it does get quite cold in here quite easily, and the heating, obviously you can turn it up. I think it goes up to like 22 degrees or something. It gets quite hot, but it only stays on for half an hour at a time. So you need to always just constantly check it that it's on. It's just because of health and safety, like a fire hazard bit, but honestly, it's easily rectifiable. Just wear warm clothes, make sure your heating's always on. It's not the biggest deal in the entire world. Overall, I'd say St Mary's is quite a good accommodation to go to. Obviously, you haven't got an ensuite, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. You'll live with it, and it's just not bad at all. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about is probably Baldwin, and that's also on the Grange, Baldwin House. It is the one with like the white porches on the front. I'll insert photos of every single accommodation when I talk about them. I think there's 18 flats altogether. From the top of my memory, I think there are 18 flats in Baldwin. All of them have 5 rooms. This is off the top of my head. Don't abuse me if I'm wrong. All of them have 5 rooms, shared bathroom, and yeah, and kitchen again. Nothing is catered accommodation. They're all self-catered, so I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, but Baldwin is interesting. Walls are quite thin, but lots of room in the kitchen. They have like a nice round table and like nice sofas. It's quite in like a nice central area, and there's like greenery out front. Overall, like, it's a nice accommodation. It's like nice. Going a bit down from that is all of the different houses. Like, there's different names for them. There's like Mill House, and there's like, I think Robinson's House, something like that. There's like loads of different ones. I couldn't even count how many there are because it's like massive. Like the Grange in general, it's like a massive like estate, like a massive student village. That's what it is. Like next to a loony bin, because we've got a mental hospital like over the road, which is nice. But all the houses are, they're literally houses. Like you walk in, you see a staircase in front of you. To the left, you've got a kitchen, then 2 bedrooms downstairs. Go upstairs, you've got 3 bedrooms. Like that's what it is. And all the houses are literally identical. Yeah, but the rooms in them are quite small, I'm not gonna lie. I think living in a house is like nicer, because obviously we have a flat, but I think living in a house might be like a nicer, I don't know, like vibe. But like the walls are quite thin, the rooms are generally quite small, but it is the cheapest accommodation, and for what you're paying, you definitely get your money's worth, because the kitchen is very nice. Like you have a breakfast bar, like a higher one. I think the ovens are slightly bigger as well, and the fridge is quite like a lot bigger as well. Like most of them have like bike bits out the front, which is quite interesting. And the doors are self-locking, like our ones are in here, whereas Baldwin's aren't. They're not self-locking in Baldwin. But the houses, for what you pay, aren't bad at all, like not even a little bit. Leading on for that, we have Grange House. Grange House is the most expensive accommodation on the Grange. So on the Grange you have St Mary's House, Grange House, all the different houses, like named houses, and then you have Baldwin. So Grange House is the most expensive on the Grange. They have like really nice windows in there, and the flats are quite large. The rooms I think are quite similar sizes to these ones, it's just the only difference is you get an ensuite. That's basically it. Leading on, we've got a couple different sites. So I'm going to talk about city residence first. I've never been into city residence, but I've heard quite a lot about it. I saw a review online when I was looking at accommodation. Sorry, my makeup in. That there were like bed bugs, like insects that come in the, I don't know, something like that. But I'm pretty sure since then they've had a refurbishment, and the kitchens look quite similar to our ones. The rooms are a bit smaller, and the walls are quite thick. But again, I've never been in there, I've just heard, so there's not really much I can say about it. Yeah, again, shared bathrooms, so not many places have en suites. Going on to another one, we have Lyme's Court. That's the furthest away from the university. Grange House and city residence are quite a similar distance, because city residence is literally around the corner from here. So we're about 10 minutes, not even that, maybe 5 minutes, depending on what part of the uni you're walking to. Lyme's Court is about 25 minutes away, because it's right at the end of Hewitt Green. But it's again like a student village. It's like just a row of houses. It's supposed to be like the quiet accommodation. I've heard it can be quite loud, like quite weirdly, but I think it's supposed to be quite nice. Again, I don't really know many people that live in Lyme's Court, but I've heard it's okay. So, and again, you get money's worth like every single place. Next place we have St. John Central. That is, some of them are the most expensive accommodations you can get, because obviously you've got the studio flats on the top floor. All of them have en suites, then you get pick and choose between getting a large room and a small room. Everything is self-catered, like I was saying, but yeah. Central is literally right in the centre of York. It's like literally around the corner from the Shambles, and there's a co-op across the road as well. The closest shop to here is a spa and a Londis that we have on the way to the uni, which is very helpful. St. John Central, I think altogether there's like 6 floors, which means there are lots of flats. Yeah, but again, I've had really nice rooms. A lot of partying goes on over there, so be prepared to never have a night's sleep if there's parties going on above you, because I know the people above me like to have parties, and luckily I'm a very deep sleeper, so I'm quite lucky in that aspect, because none of my other flatmates hear it. But I think the room right above me loves to party all the time. But yeah, I think St. John Central is like okay, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know much about it. I think the Grange is where I have the most knowledge. And you've also got like Brickworks. Brickworks is like the most expensive you can get. I was saying St. John's, but Brickworks is run by a company outside of the uni, but it's still like uni managed, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's like very high end. I'm pretty sure it's like 160 per week or something. So yeah, it's quite expensive. So like walking distances, like I said, this place and then city residence is about 5 to 10 minutes. Lyme's Court, 20 minutes. St. John Central, 20 minutes again. Brickworks, about 25 minutes. It's still a little bit further away. But yeah, I think the main, because the majority of the students live here or St. John Central, because those are the biggest places. I don't really know what else to add, but if you guys want me to answer any questions, like leave them in the comment section below, and I will definitely do a Q&A, because I know I'm trying to think what questions I was asking, I wanted to ask when I was looking at accommodation, because there isn't really any videos, and I want to take one for the team and make some for you guys, because there's like no student feedback whatsoever. But if you guys have any questions, leave them below and I will 100% answer them for you in like a Q&A, or like if you want to see any videos, like leave it below. I'll do more vlogs if you want. Like I've done like 5 videos since I've been here. I think a little bit, maybe 4, I don't know. Please watch more, because you get a lot of information for them, like what happens, like what the vibe is, what the nights outs are like what it's like going to uni. Yeah, it's if you want to learn more, I'd really highly recommend watching my other videos. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.